I'm 86. My kids stopped visiting me. What I learned about love. My name is Bernard. I am 86 years old, and my children stopped visiting me. There, I said it. The thing that sits in my chest every quiet evening. The thing I have never said out loud to anyone because saying it out loud makes it completely real. My children stopped visiting me, not all at once, not dramatically, slowly, the way seasons change, so gradually you cannot point to the exact moment summer became autumn. Just one day you look up and everything is different and you wonder how long it has been this way without you noticing. I'm not telling you this for sympathy. I am telling you this because I learned something from it. Something real and hard and ultimately freeing. Something about love that I could not have learned any other way. My name is Bernard, and this is what loneliness taught me about love. I was a provider. That was my identity for most of my adult life. I worked. I brought money home. I kept the roof over the family and food on the table, and I believed, completely without question, that this was love. That provision was love. That showing up in that particular way, reliable, hard-working, present in the practical sense, was enough. My wife Eleanor understood this about me. She never asked me to be different. She built the emotional life of our family herself, while I built the financial one. She was the one who knew what was happening in the children's hearts. She was the one they came to when things went wrong. She was the warmth, I was the structure, and together, for a long time, it worked. When Eleanor passed away 8 years ago, everything changed, because Eleanor had been the bridge, the living, breathing, human bridge between me and my children. She had translated me to them and them to me for decades, and when she was gone, the bridge was gone, and we were all standing on opposite sides of a distance that had always been there, but that she had made crossable. My son Michael lives 40 minutes away. In the first year after Eleanor, he visited regularly, then monthly, then every few months. My daughter Patricia calls. She calls dutifully every Sunday, 10 minutes. We talk about the weather and her children's school and whether I'm eating properly, and then she goes back to her life, and I go back to my silence. I blamed them for a long time. I want to be honest about that. I sat in this house and I told myself, after everything I gave them, after all those years of working and providing and sacrificing, this is what I get. Silence, absence, a 10-minute Sunday phone call. I was angry. And underneath the anger, which I have learned is almost always the case, I was hurt, deeply, quietly, shamefully hurt, because I loved my children. I had always loved my children. I just had not known how to show them in a way they could feel. And then one evening, sitting alone at this table, the house completely quiet, I had a thought that changed everything. What if they are not staying away because they do not love me? What if they are staying away because they do not know me? And I sat with that thought for a long time, because it was uncomfortable, because it pointed not at them but at me. My children do not know me. Not really. They know the provider. They know the man who went to work and came home tired and sat at the head of the table and had opinions about things. But they do not know what I am afraid of. They do not know what I regret. They do not know what I find beautiful or what makes me laugh or what I think about in the quiet hours. They do not know those things because I never told them. Because men of my generation did not tell those things. Because I thought being known was something that happened automatically over time, not something you had to actively choose. I called Michael, not the kind of call I usually made, practical, brief, checking in. A different kind. I said, "Michael, can I tell you something?" He said, "Of course." And I told him I was lonely. I told him the house was quiet in a way that was hard to describe. I told him I missed his mother, and I missed having people around me. And I was not sure how to say any of this, but I was saying it because I did not know what else to do. He was quiet for a long time, and then he said, "Dad, I did not know you felt that way. I thought you preferred the quiet. I thought you were fine." And I realized he had been reading the same signal I had been sending my whole life. I am fine. I do not need anything. I am the structure, not the warmth. He had believed me, because why would he not believe me? I had been saying it for 86 years. We had lunch the following Saturday, just the two of us, and I did something I had never done with my son in 86 years of being his father. I asked him real questions, not about work, not about the grandchildren's grades, real questions. What are you finding hard right now? What do you love about your life? What do you wish was different? And he told me. He actually told me. And I listened, really listened, without offering solutions, without redirecting to my own experiences, just receiving what he was giving me. And something shifted in that lunch. Something that had been fixed and cold for a long time became warm, became possible. I have learned something about love from all of this, something I wish I had understood at 30. Love is not just provision. Love is not just showing up in the practical sense. Love is being known. Love is knowing. Love is the willingness to say, "Here is who I actually am, not who I think I should be," and to ask the same of the people you love. I spent 86 years being strong in a way that kept people at a distance, and I called that love. But love that keeps people at a distance is not love. It is protection dressed up as love. And the people you protect yourself from, even with the best intentions, eventually stop trying to reach you, not because they do not love you, but because reaching you stopped feeling possible. If you are a father watching this, especially a man of my generation who built his identity around providing and protecting, please hear this. Your children do not need your strength as much as they need your honesty. They do not need you to have all the answers. They need to know your questions. They need to know your fears. They need to know the real you, not the performance of you, because they are grown now. They do not need a provider. They need a father, a real one, a human one who can sit across a table and say, "I love you, and I do not always know how to show it, and I am trying." That is enough. That is more than enough. That is everything. My name is Bernard. I am 86 years old. My children stopped visiting me, and it taught me the most important thing I have ever learned about love. Be reachable. Let yourself be known. It is never too late. Thank you.